You've waited a long time for an electronic version of a kindergarten portfolio. Well, here it is. This version will allow you to enter data through a PDF that you can do all on your iPad. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use this to enter data, set it up with students, along with continuing to save it and use it throughout the school year. So enjoy, and let's get started. First, what we need to do is make sure that we have the app Adobe Acrobat Reader. To find this, just go to the App Store. In the search box, go ahead and type Acrobat. And the first one that comes up will be Acrobat Reader under the suggestions. Tap Acrobat Reader. And then you're going to choose Get. I have open because I already have it installed. Once we get that done, we're going to talk about the interface. Okay, now that you downloaded Adobe Acrobat, you'll see it right on the wallpaper. Go ahead and tap it to open it. And when you first open up Adobe Acrobat Reader, you'll notice it says no documents to display. What this means is that you did not save any documents within the Adobe Acrobat Reader app. So what I'm going to show you is how you take the template that I sent in your email and put it right into this app so you can go in and edit it. The first thing we have to do is open up our kindergarten portfolio template from an email attachment. However, we first have to close Adobe Acrobat before we do anything. So go ahead and double tap the home button on your iPad. And then just swipe up to close out the program. Now we need to open up the Outlook web. So I'm going to go over here to my Safari icon, tap it, and I'm going to type in webmail.washoeschools.net. And as you can see there, it auto-filled because I go to it all the time. But keep in mind, remember to use HTTP due to the fact that it's not a www site. It's a private site that the district provides for you to access your email. So make sure you have http://webmail.washoeschools.net. And once you get that address put in correctly, push go, and it'll take you to a login screen. I'm going to log in. And now I have my email. Next, in your email, you'll see Kindergarten Portfolio Template. So go ahead and tap that to open it. And you'll see an attachment. And that attachment is actually the Kindergarten Portfolio. That's the PDF file that we're going to actually go in and enter our information. So to do this, just tap it and allow it to open in the preview. The font will change a little bit until we open it up in Adobe Acrobat, and then it'll be fine. Next, we have to choose where we want to open it. So we're going to go ahead and tap on the very top until we have these choices appear. You're going to choose Open In. And then you'll see that there's a bunch of choices to open it. In this case, I have Adobe Acrobat, and that is exactly what I want to open. Now it's in Adobe Acrobat, and you can see that the font and the style changed a little bit, exactly how it was created in the first place. So let me give you a grand tour of the kindergarten portfolio. So you can see right here, as I scroll up and down, it just works like any other document. But here's what's cool. You can go in and you can pinch to zoom on any part of the document. Why is that great? Because let's say you have students that are identifying their letters and you need to see it a lot clearer than just a small box. But here's where it gets interesting. If I go in and tap on the letters, I can add check marks based on whatever the student identified. So while you're giving the assessment, you can just tap on the boxes and it'll put a check mark in there. Another thing that you can do is you can go in and you can actually type how many letters are in there. So watch this. I'm just going to pretend that he got 48. And you can type that. Another thing you can do is, let's say we want to get out of this to get it back to normal. We just double tap and it will take it back to the normal size. I also have places here where you can go and put an X just by tapping on it. If you accidentally put an X in or a check mark, it's easy. Just tap it again to clear it. And now you can see they're not there anymore. You'll notice that as I scroll down, it changes from English to Spanish. But notice what happened here. Do you see that it put in the check marks? Whatever I put on the English report card? So guess what? You only have to enter the data once on the English version and it automatically puts it in the Spanish version of the progress report. So just think about that, how cool that is. You can just go in, put everything on the English version, and it copies it to the Spanish version. The only exception, though, is if you go to teacher and parent notes, these are set up so that they're separate. So when you put in your comments, they're in English, and if you have it translated, you can have a different translation in Spanish on the Spanish version. Another thing that's really cool is if you want to go in and tap on a particular field, you can see here that I can actually scroll and pick the date or the range of dates that have to do with what current quarter you're in. Because I know that as you put in things into the report card, you'll have a range of dates, preferably the quarters. So that's just a little tour of it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how we set it up from the template. Now I want to exit this file, and the easiest way to do that is up in the corner you see these little pieces of paper. If I tap on it, it's going to open up in a different menu. See how it shows My Documents, Viewer, all those other things? If I tap My Documents, it's going to take me to the list of all the files that I saved within the app. Let me show you now how you start off with a template that's blank, save it, and make copies so that you can use it for each student in your class. So I'm in my list of documents, and you can see right here that I only have one file. I'm going to tap that. And you can see it's all blank. No text, no check marks, no X's. Basically, it's empty. And that's what we want. We want to have it all blank because we are going to save a copy of each of these. But to save you some work, you want to set the dates first before you do anything. That way, you don't have to go to each PDF from a different child and set the dates. Otherwise, you're going to be doing that 30 times or even more. So I want to save you some time. So we're going to first create a copy of this template. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my list of documents. And you can see right there on the upper right-hand corner, there is a select button, which has a circle and a check mark. I'm going to tap that, and then I'm going to select the circle and check it, and I have some options. Now down at the bottom, you'll see that there is an arrow pointing to the right with paper. If I tap on that, it's going to make a duplicate. Check this out. See down at the bottom? I can either move it or I can duplicate it. I want to duplicate it. So now you see that it has a 1 after it and the other one does not. The reason why is when you're saving files, you can't have the same file with the same name. So it automatically puts a number after it. Now, I'm going to just change this to something simple. And I need to rename it. So to rename a file, it's very simple. all you do is you go back to the check mark on that top. I'm going to rename this file. And down here in the lower right-hand corner next to the trash can, if I tap on that, it lets rename it. So I'm going to name it. And I'm just going to call it K template. And then I'm going to tap rename. And now you can see it's a little less wordy without the percentages and all that. Now I'm going to go back into the file. Now I want to open up the template that I made a copy of. So I'm going to go over here to K template and open it up. And I'm going to set the dates for all the quarters. So I'm just going to scroll down to the second page. And I'm only going to fill in first through fourth term, because the baseline assessment date may be different depending on when you test the child. So I'm going to leave it blank, but I'm going to leave everything else filled in for all the quarters. So it's going to be real simple. Here's how we do it. First, I'm going to set the date for the first term. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and tap on the blank next to term 1. And I'm going to change this to August 11th, 2014. Select the next field. And I'm going to change that to October 15th, 2014. And I'll fill in all the rest to save time. Okay, now all the dates are entered for all 4 terms. As I scroll down the portfolio, notice that the dates are automatically filled in on the Spanish version. So that means that when you go in and you enter your data on the English version, it copies everything to the Spanish version. So it really saves you a lot of time. All right, we're going to go back to our menu. So if this doesn't appear, just tap on the very top and then it will appear. See how that shows up? And we're going to tap on that icon, go to My Documents. And now, since we set up our dates, we're going to make a copy. Each copy is going to be matching the number of students. So if you have 20 students in your class, you're going to make 20 copies from this template. So the easiest way to do that is to tap on the check mark with the circle in it. Select the one you want to copy. In this case, we're selecting the one where we set up the dates. And now we're going to duplicate. So down at the bottom, you'll see that icon. There it is, and I'm going to choose duplicate. And I'm going to continue that process until I have the number of files that equals the number of students. So just to save time, I'm just going to have 2 students in my class. Actually, 1. But let me just do it real quick. I'm going to do another duplicate. And now you can see it does a 1, and then it puts a 1 in the parentheses. And the reason it does that is, once again, it can't have the same file name within the same location, which makes sense. So now I'm going to change this to my son's name. And the easiest way to do this, believe it or not, is to swipe from the right. And you see how it shows up with these options? You're going to tap the icon that looks just like the one on the bottom that allows you to rename it. And I suggest that you rename it with the last name first and then the first name. So in this case, I'm going to put in my son's name, even though he's not in kindergarten. And I'm going to put his first name. And then I'm going to tap rename. Okay, so now you see that I have added another student. And what we're going to do next is create folders. We're going to have 2 types of folders. The first folder is going to contain your name, the grade, and the year. That way you have everything organized. And then we're going to create 5 distinct folders within that folder. That way we can keep track and see the progress of students. So I set up folders here. I have a baseline first term, and then I'm going to add 3 more. So remember, you just go to the folder, and then you choose the folder name. In this case, I'm just going to type it out here. So it's going to be the following. And then I'm going to create the folder. And then I'm going to continue doing third term and fourth term. Okay, I have all of my folders created. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and tap on local. That's going to take you one step backwards. You can see this is the main area where you save all your files. And we're going to move the students, in this case Nathan and Doug, into the folder that is baseline. So to do that, same way you move files and duplicate, it's that check mark. I'm going to choose the two students. And now I'm going to move them. So the way to do that is tap on the move button, duplicate button. I'm going to choose move this time. And now I'm going to select baseline. And you notice they go away. But if I go inside my folder and then I go into baseline, now I have the students' names. So now all I have to do is tap on it. And in this case, I'm going to type in the name so I know which card is which. And that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to tap on the icon to go back to the main menu. Tap on My Documents. And now you can see that it saves automatically. Repeat this process for every student in your class so that you name it for each card. Now we're ready to enter data for the student. So all we have to do is tap on the student's name, and you have boxes here to identify letters. All you have to do is tap on the box and it puts in a check mark. And then when you put in the actual numbers, make sure you use the codes that are found on the second page. So you can see I have B, T1, T2, T3, and T4. What you want to do is make sure that you put that in front of your actual number. So let's just say that this student identified 25 letters. So I'm going to tap inside that field. And I'm going to put B, since this is the baseline assessment. And then I'm going to put 25. Now, just like the name, it also shrinks the text so you can fit a good amount of characters so that it doesn't have anything missing. But hopefully students make progress throughout the school year. So do that for every area. If it's term 2 that you're assessing, put T2 in front of it. Or if it's term 4, T4. And then the number. Any area that you can see that is kind of a purplish blue color is where you can enter data. So for example, these blank boxes right here, if I tap on them, they put an X in. Remember to deselect it, just tap it again and it goes away. And that's all there's to it to entering the data. Then to save, all you have to do is exit again. Go to that menu, My Documents, and the document saved. Now just to show you, if I go back into Nathan's report, there it is. All right, now let's suppose that we have all of our data set up, ready to go for the baseline for all our students. Now we're going to go back to our main menu, go to My Documents, and then we're going to do two things. We're going to duplicate these files, and then we're going to move those duplicates to first term folder. So real simple. Watch how I do this. I'm just going to tap on the selection tool with that circle and the check mark. Choose all the students I want to copy. I'm going to go to duplicate. And now you see there's a 1 after them. I'm going to select the ones with 1. And then I'm going to move them. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom. Choose Move. And now I'm going to put them into the first term folder. Now they go away. If I tap on the SCOF K 2014-15 main folder and I go into first term, there they are. And now I can go in and add additional data for term 1. The whole idea is to keep all of the kindergarten portfolios with a concurrent record. So you can see the growth, but you can also keep a copy to see exactly what they accomplished going from quarter to quarter. A really neat thing you can do in this Adobe Acrobat app is you can go in and send a report card, or in this case, a kindergarten portfolio report, directly to the parent via email. And the way you do that is you go into the folder containing the portfolios you want to send. And in this case, I'm going to open up Nathan's. And then down at the bottom, you see the share icon. If I tap it, it's going to say share file, share a public link. I'm going to choose share file. And that's going to allow me to send something. Now, I want to share a flattened copy because I don't want to have the parents edit it. So I'm going to choose flattened copy. And then I'm going to choose where I'm going to have it go. I'm going to email it to myself. Now I can email it and I have a copy. And that way, when you open up the attachment, you can go in and print it. An easier way to access your files is to store them in the document cloud. The first thing you have to do is set up your account. So in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see that it looks like an iPhone with a check mark. You're going to tap that, and you're going to choose Turn Mobile Link On. It's then going to prompt you for a username and password. You go ahead and set it up. It's real simple. Email address, username, password, and then you can go and have access to all your files anywhere in the world. So once you have it all set up, it doesn't cost anything. It's free, so that's the other nice thing. You're going to go up to your drop-down menu and choose Document Cloud. That's how you're going to access all your files on the cloud. But we first have to copy them to the cloud. So you have to go first into the folder. In this case, I'm going to go into first term. I'm going to select all the files. And then down at the bottom, it's going to allow me to send it to the cloud. Now you're probably thinking, well, why couldn't I just choose the whole folder? I wish you could, but it doesn't allow you. So you have to go individual files, but at least you can select more than one. Tap on that cloud, and now they get automatically copied to the cloud. So if I go up here to local and I switch it to document cloud, there they are. That way, when you go on the web and you enter your account information, you can go in and print them directly from the web, from your computer, without having to worry about printing from the iPad. And that is really useful. Also, it keeps your documents secure and safe in case something would happen to the iPad. So it's a great idea to back it up after every term. And that's how you use Document Cloud. Let me show you how easy it is to go to the Document Cloud. In Google, just type in Adobe Document Cloud. There it is, the first link. Click on it. And then you're going to log in. I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on my name. And under Assets, click on Document Cloud Files. It's going to open up, and there's the files, the exact same ones I copied from my iPad. Now, to print them, click on each one, and then go up here to where it says Download. In my Mac, it opens up in Preview automatically. It may open up in Adobe Reader on your PC. And there it is. Now I can just go to my File menu as normal and print. And there it is, ready to print a hard copy that I can have for my records. This concludes our video tutorial on how to set up an electronic kindergarten portfolio, how to enter data, and how to print it later when you need that hard copy. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark Scoff, and I hope you enjoy the new PDF form.